Hello there, NintendoGBR fans and followers alike. Hope you're all well. Welcome to another episode of Nintendo, My Life and I, with me, NintendoGBR. I must apologise. It's been a long time, but I'm finally back. And I tell you what, I am switched on after 79 days of owning a Nintendo Switch. And yes, I'm going to be talking about my experiences and how I feel it's changed my perspective on gaming. I'm also going to be talking about some changes up and coming to my channel. So please join me on another exciting, fun-filled episode of Nintendo, My Life and I. Hello there, NintendoGBR fans and followers. Lovely to be back. Lovely to be back in front of the microphone talking to all of you out there. And thank you very much for all of you that continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel and increase my subscription count that little bit more. I really do enjoy doing the content, so thank you very much for supporting me. So just before we continue into the main body of today's episode, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what I hope to be doing with my channel in the coming months. I really want to create more content for my channel, the one that you're listening to right now, so please continue listening and subscribe if you haven't done already. Obviously this is a Nintendo theme channel, but I do play other systems, which I'm sure you're probably not too shocked to learn. I do this because, I think it's good to be objective and have an opinion about other games as opposed to just kind of like one system's games. And the first question really I want to ask all of you listening to this and anyone who dips into this is, and this is a biggie, would you like to see any other content on my channel that isn't Nintendo related? So for example, I may do a video or a vlog or a podcast comparing maybe different games that I've played on different platforms to a Nintendo game and vice versa. I'd like to get your take on that. So if you do listen to this, leave a comment below and let me know if you would like anything, like almost like a cross-platform discussion, but still a Nintendo channel. I think you get where I'm coming from with that. Now, I've currently got 147 subscribers to my YouTube channel, but that's small fry when you look at lots of other YouTubers in the community. But the reason people I think have started to subscribe to me is because of who I am. And it's taken time to build up this very small amount of subscribers, which, let's be honest, probably 120 of them are bots. I hope not, though. And I want to kind of grow my subscriber base in a very, very natural way. I don't want to just kind of, bang and have like thousands of people joining me, because I'd find that quite suspicious. But what I want to know, what I'd like to do is, I want to get more involved in the communities. I want to try and reach out more to the communities, maybe even meet up with kind of like fellow gamers and see if we can kind of collaborate and do things together, because I think collaboration is sometimes some of the best stuff that you can do. It kind of grows you very naturally. Now at the moment, like I say, I need some improved equipment, which I'm slowly but surely getting, but that will allow me to do better videos, etc. I do have a green screen set up. It does work, but I can make even better use of it by getting better equipment. Now obviously I've also got my Twitter handle, which is @NintendoGBR, which has almost got as many followers, I think slightly more followers than I have on my YouTube channel. And this is something that I'm trying to grow very naturally, but I want to do something more. So I'm asking any of you that are subscribed to me, any of those that you do listen to my podcast, what can I do more of? What would you like to hear? Because at the end of the day, we are the gamers, and all of us independent YouTube video makers, podcast makers, we all have a passion. And more often than not, when you get a group of these people together that have the same passion, some great magic can happen. So if there are any other YouTube video makers out there, like I said, podcasters, that would like to collaborate and do something together, maybe meet up at a trade show or something like that, then I'm really up for that. And just saying that, I will be attending Comic-Con I think it's in the London XL. I didn't book the tickets. I can't remember where it is. I'm just going there. On the 26th of May, 2017. So basically next Friday. So if you're listening to this or you dip into this and you are going to Comic Con next Friday, I'm going to be there from around about 1 o'clock. So if you fancy meeting up, having a chat, seeing if we can do anything in the future, that would be fantastic. I'm going to stop talking about this now, and we are now going to move on to the next segment of the show. So, it's been 79 days since the Nintendo Switch launched in the UK. Today being Sunday, the 21st of May. You can probably already hear that what I'm playing is probably one of the best launch games ever released. And that is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, we need to talk about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild quite a lot. Although I'm not going to talk about it as much as many other people have, because lots have been spoken about this game, and to be honest, there's no words. But let's get back to the launch of the Nintendo Switch. So I suppose as a Nintendo fan, there was some trepidation there from everybody. Was it going to be another flop? Was it going to work? Was the screen going to be as good? Was the battery going to be okay? The Joy-Cons are too expensive. And there was just all this kind of panic and everything that was just kind of going around. And I was trying to tell people, look, come on, you've got to give Nintendo a chance here. They've got a great track record with video games, but they haven't always got it right with their systems. But there was something about this system that was just a little bit different, almost like a gap in the market. People were whinging about the price of the Joy-Cons, and I just used to say to people, hey, come on, don't you remember the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck? That was costing £60 or £70. How quickly people forget. But anyway, the system launched, and I think the wait for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild being on the Switch as well was just a fantastic move by Nintendo. I think they wanted to launch it quicker, but I think there was such a complex, deep game there that they just couldn't get it out any earlier. And it was so worth the wait. The Nintendo Switch launch, it sold really well initially, and it's continued to sell really well ever since. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild had a phenomenal attach rate, and I think I read many articles stating that there was more Zeldas sold than there were Switches. So obviously there were collectors and scalpers trying to get in on that. But fortunately, the sales have continued. Mario Kart 8 launched. That's done phenomenally well, considering, again, it was a deluxe port. And right now, almost 3 months after the launch, the Nintendo Switch is in a very good place. Healthy sales, positive reviews, thumbs up from everybody, and people are playing together. They are playing multiplayer together, sorry. They are handing their Joy-Cons out, and it works, and there is a gap in the market. Personally, I think Nintendo should have sold the Nintendo Switch as the world's most powerful handheld device, because playing Breath of the Wild on that device is just simply mind-blowing. It still takes my breath away, excuse the pun, when I'm playing that game. And I think that they could have just said, and there is an option to dock it. Whether or not the Nintendo Switch is going to replace the Nintendo 3DS over time, and then maybe 5 years down the line Nintendo may consider going back to actually having a proper home console, well, who knows. It wouldn't surprise me. The Switch is such a great device that they can only improve upon it. And I think maybe, just maybe, that is going to replace the handheld, or it's going to replace the 3DS, but we will see. Now, as some of you may know, I did an unboxing video for the Nintendo Switch on launch day as soon as I got home. Sadly for me, it didn't do very well. For some reason, only 30 people have viewed that video. But, to be fair, there are lots of better unboxing videos out there. Mine was literally a run home from the shop and unboxing. I was trying to make it as real as possible. Maybe that's not what people are after. But after opening the system, how did I feel about the system? And I've got to say, after about 1 or 2 days of playing with the system, getting used to it, the weight of it, playing around with the control configuration, I was just literally at ease with it within 48 hours. I've travelled backwards and forwards to London, thrown it in my bag, taken the dock with me in my bag. It's so small. Everything just fits in the bottom of my backpack, no problem whatsoever. I've taken it to work with me. It is just fantastic. And yes, we've had portable consoles before, but we've just never had a portable console that has been this powerful, that you can take out of you, and has got a relatively good battery life. 3 hours for me, if I'm on a train, or maybe I have half an hour or an hour at work, is plenty. And yes, there are times when you would like to play for longer, maybe at home, but I think in time that will come. And if we support Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch, I think maybe 18 months time, 2 years time, we're going to have like a Nintendo Switch XL or whatever they want to call it. It's going to have a probably slightly bigger screen. They're probably going to make those Joy-Cons feel just that teensy little bit better. They'll play around with things, and I think that we're going to have a fantastic Switch, Nintendo Switch, going forward. So I'd love to know what you guys and girls out there think of the Switch. If you have Mario Kart 8 and you'd like to organise a competition, then please leave your details below. And at the end of this podcast, I will be leaving my gamer tag, and I will also put it in the comments below. Welcome back to Nintendo My Life and I with me, NintendoGBR. So, as I said in the last segment, I just want to talk a little bit more about Breath of the Wild, but not in the way that you think. If you remember a little bit earlier, I said that what I'd like to do is maybe talk about maybe other games on other platforms and kind of compare them. Well, I think I have got an absolutely fantastic view on how I feel Zelda has redefined the open world game. When Zelda launched, there was another game very, very, very similar in what it was trying to, I suppose, achieve, and it was called Horizon Zero Dawn. And that was on the PlayStation 4. Now, I recently picked myself up a PlayStation 4, which I got for a phenomenal price. I mean, I don't think anybody would blame me for picking it up at this price. I got PS4 Slim, a black one. I got Horizon Zero Dawn, and I got an additional controller, all for the amazing price of $199 at that amazing place, Argos, or Argos. You decide. But anyway, and I also, not long after picking up my PlayStation 4, picked up Uncharted 4, because I'd previously bought a PlayStation 3 purely just to play the Uncharted series and a few other games, because there are certain games that you can't get on certain systems, and that's why you buy them. But let's go back, little rewind. So the day I got my PS4 was the day before the Switch launched. It was kind of like console overdrive in my head. I just couldn't cope with it all. But anyway, following day I bought my Switch, and obviously I started to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I've completed the game. I've gone back, got all the memories, and then I've recompleted the game. I think I've got about 130 Korok seeds. I think I've found, about 76 temples, something like that. Shrines, sorry. And I've had a fantastic time playing the game, but there's still so much more to do, so I'm really looking forward to the DLC. But what I want to talk about is just why Zelda has kind of spoilt other games for me now. Because one thing that blew my mind in Breath of the Wild was the fact that you could do anything you wanted to do. And it really was true. If I wanted to climb up something, I can climb up it. If I get tired, I fall off of it. But I can climb higher if I get more stamina. Anywhere you looked, you could go. And everybody has said this, but I don't think people have pointed out the limitations with other games since this has come out. Now, I remember at the time there were people saying that Horizon Zero Dawn and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild had redefined open world games. So having completed Legend of Zelda and put over 100 hours, I think 110 hours I've put into it so far, I then went and played Uncharted 4 and Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, I kind of knew what I was getting with Uncharted, because it is a kind of on-rails game. But I was still surprised at how limited I felt, how restricted I felt. I couldn't climb this, I couldn't climb this, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And I kind of, I had to kind of readjust to like the standardised way of playing games. Damn you, Zelda, damn you. But then, after completing Uncharted, which probably took me about 20 hours all in all, I moved on to Horizon Zero Dawn. So here I am. I've read some reviews and they're saying, Zelda and this game are very similar. They've redefined open worlds. You can go wherever you want. So within the first kind of 2 hours of playing Horizon, all of a sudden I thought, I can't climb everything. What are you talking about? I could see lots of, rock faces and trees. I couldn't climb them. There were places on these rock faces that I could climb, but it was nothing like Legend of Zelda. So first and foremost, I kind of felt, well, this isn't, as free as I felt. Now, there are quite a lot of similarities with both games. Vast open worlds, crafting, bow and arrow, things like that. The enemies are kind of different to a degree. But to me, it doesn't feel as open as Zelda and as free as Zelda. That was the thing that I noticed within the first kind of, I suppose, the 2 hours. Now, another thing which I'm really interested in, talking about both games, is the graphics. Now, everyone was going on about how phenomenal Horizon Zero Dawn looked and how fantastic, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looked. And I've got to say, I think Legend of Zelda nails it better. Yes, there may be slightly better water effects, some people say, but I think Legend of Zelda nails that better. I was looking at the mountains and, the vast vistas in Horizon Zero Dawn. I think Zelda gets it better. But I think I'm going to enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's definitely not as freeing, or it doesn't make you feel as free as Legend of Zelda. I'd love to know if anyone else has played both of the games, and I'd also like to get your take on games after playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. How restricted did you feel? And how did it make you feel after playing that game and then going to something more linear? I'd be absolutely fascinated to know what you think. And I just felt I needed to talk about that because I think Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has completely changed the way that we're going to play games like this in the future. And I just think it was one of the most amazing experiences. Was it better than my original Ocarina of Time experience, which I had when I was around about 16? I'm not sure. I think maybe they're on a par, but I still probably think the story in Ocarina of Time was the thing that pulled you in, and it was the first time we'd ever experienced anything like that. So for me, maybe Ocarina just has it, but I mean, it's a hair's width. But if you're young and this is your first Zelda game, then I think hands down this is going to be your Ocarina of Time experience. Breath of the Wild is going to be your game. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Welcome back to Nintendo My Life and I with me, NintendoGBR. So we are coming to the end of this current episode. I must just say that playing that little sound effect just before I came back in of Adventures of Link really makes me want to go back and play Adventures of Link on the NES. So maybe I can download it for my 3DS, although I've packed that away. So maybe I'll have to wait for the 2DS XL and download it on that because it was a great game. Anyway, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. So I hope you've enjoyed the content. It's great to be back, great making this content for you guys. As I said, I'm just going to grab my little notebook. Listen, very important notes in here. So if any of you are listening and you fancy adding me as a friend, maybe we can arrange some little Mario Kart tournaments, which would be fantastic. Or you can leave comments below here. My friend code is SW65342255 7805. So I'll say it again. SW653422557805. And my tag is NintendoGB. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the R on the end because you're restricted by the amount of characters, which is slightly annoying. But yeah, NintendoGB. So if you want to add me up, please do so. And we'll see if we can arrange some kind of little tournaments as and when we can. And remember, I'm going to be at Comic-Con because I'm a huge celebrity. You want to come and meet the guy with 147 YouTube subscribers. Come and shake my hand and look at me and go, wow, you're much better looking. You actually haven't got a face for radio. That's a joke. But yeah, I'll be at Comic-Con this coming Friday, 26th of May, from around about 1 o'clock. If you want to meet up, please message me on Twitter at NintendoGBR or leave a comment in the comments below. I'm going to be tweeting about some stuff beforehand, so it'd be great if I could meet up with some of you there. So this has been NintendoGBR, and this has been Nintendo My Life and I.